Hello. You're going to be watching the new series, the first iteration of a new series called The History of ZToA Towers, where I explain towers and its history in my friend's tower fan game ZToA, or Z's Tower of Anger. Reborn, by the way. So, this might be more just like a little fun project that I wanted to make because I was bored and I was just reminded. I was thinking about that idea while I was watching one of Z's videos about his history of the general game itself. I was thinking, what if I make a series involving the towers, like individual series? And while there might not be a lot of history behind them, there is a lot of interesting facts. So today we're going to be looking at these towers and we're going to go one by one. We're going to be starting with Ring 1 and then we're going to go into Dimension 1. So without further ado, let's get this episode started. Tower of Quick Construction. Let's discover its history and how this tower legitimately saved ZToA from being released way later. Tower of Quick Construction is a Ring 1 hard difficulty tower made by me that's not bad, to say the least. It's basically the third Shin tower to be finished, but I think you're mostly here for the story of its creation, so let's get into it. It was January 23rd, 2021 at 10 o'clock at night. It was the weekend, so me and the owner of the game, Z, were on a call together. At that time, Z needed one more tower in order for his game to reach the bug testing phase before releasing it. He desperately needed a hard difficulty tower soon, so that he could finally release the year-old project. I was thinking in my head, what if I tried to make a tower as fast as I could, and maybe it could get into the final tower slot, which is hard difficulty. I shared the idea with Z, and he didn't care if I didn't. So I opened Studio, and the frame I clicked on the base plate button marked the beginning of the tower's creation time. I don't exactly know how I got the colors, but I guess I thought green would fit the tower pretty well despite it looking similar to other ZToA towers. Then the music was getting filled in, although I think a couple songs were added as the tower was being built. Anyways, at the 10 or 15 minute mark, the first block was placed. I was super motivated to finish the tower, mainly because it's a tower heavily based on speed building, and I planned on making it short. I think at the 1 hour mark, I reached 4.3, although I could be wrong. The 2 hour mark, I got to 4.5. I was making hella good progress on the tower. I kept trying to get creative jumps while under pressure, that if it's made in more than a day, it wouldn't really live up to its name as well as, say, the aforementioned 5 hours. 3 hours in, I think I was on floor 7 or 8. I decided to make floor 8 a darkness floor with neon showing the path, a little similar to Tower of Green Bean. The problem was, it was extremely time consuming. The neon was hard to align, the jumps were pretty difficult to come up with, and the overall playtesting process made floor 8 the most tedious floor I had to make. I think 4 hours in, I was halfway through 9, or was just beginning the first few jumps of 9, which, given my previous progress, is not too welcoming. I stepped up the pace a little when I reached 10, I decided to make it a little bit longer than the other floors. Nerfs had to be made a bunch. I originally planned on making a regular final jump in the tower, but I decided against it. But with the GG sign placed into the wind pad, and the playtesting of the whole tower completed, the tower was completed in a little more than 5 hours at 4 AM while Z was watching the screen share with barely any bathroom breaks. I felt pretty proud of the final product, and frankly Z was too. I submitted it in the hopes of at least getting a passing score. VAR, a now former admin of the game, decided to review it as a way to improve his curating skills. Yeah. Anyways, With his pretty lackluster reviewing, the verdict would end up being a 21 out of 30, which is the minimum requirement for a tower to pass. Needless to say, I breathed a huge sigh of relief. However, the stuff he said there did make sense on some parts, so I decided to update the tower after the review. I fixed some parts, added indications, and a little bit of design. Z was pleased and I gave him the model. And with that, the last slot has been filled in and the bug testing began, leading to the release of the game just a day later. Now imagine I hadn't came up with the idea. How long do you think it would have been before a tower became confirmed and the game was released? A week? 1 month? 2 months? Hell, maybe a year? Or just never at all? Well, given the next hard difficulty tower was reviewed 2 days after the game was released and was confirmed for the hard difficulty spot, maybe that would have replaced quick construction. But hypothetically, I think Tower of Quick Construction just single-handedly saved ZToA from being shrouded into dust. Thank you for watching.
Ouija!